giving, such that that the giving can also replicate to our lives as well. Okay, so thank you so much. So we could have you, Keith.
Yes, good morning and praise the Lord. My name is Keith Mukase and I come from Kisoro district. I traveled yesterday. I'm so happy to be here right now. Professionally, I'm an accountant. I'm also pursuing SCA. I currently work with the Compassion as a project director, work with children. And I also work with the Urmak Tours and Travels as an itinerary manager. In Kisoro district, Kisoro is a great environment for destinations and tourism, and so those people who are interested in creating lasting memories, when you think about that, you think about me. Yes, I also do business. I have a bakery in Kisoro, and I also do farming. So for those people who are interested in surprise, beans, and also Irish potatoes, in Kisoro we have them. Those who can be having organizations to supply this, think about me, and I'll be at your service. I'm so grateful to be here. Mostly I joined a transformational professionals club in December. I was invited by Charity Results there. And what pulled me most was definitely about growth. But I loved the presentation from the owner of Bravo Shoes Company, because these people are talking about real life, not fiction. You can friends learn from school that you study this and become great, but with no clear direction. I'm so much pulled into personal growth and development, and that's why I believe in studying something and managing it to grow and become better. So I'm so happy to meet people who are interested in personal growth and development. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Keith. Tell your neighbor multiple income streams. Multiple income streams. Thank you. And he also traveled late in the night to be here, which is very good. Please keep up the desire to grow. And thank you so much, Charity, for introducing Keith to the club. And I know that we'll be able to learn. Over to you, Silas.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cyrus Wangaira. I'm an accountant by profession. I have 4 years experience as an accountant. I'm working with a company called Global Enterprises Limited, dealing in hardware materials. Being passionate about learning, I'm currently pursuing a certificate in Certified Public Accountants, Uganda, CPA. And I'm humbled to be here, bro. Thank you, Coach Samuel. I started following Coach Samuel since 2018 when I was in my year 2, Chamugo University. He was teaching the things of accounting, quantitative techniques, and I was really inspired by the YouTube videos. Until today, I've never met Samuel physically, but I thank God that finally I'm here to meet Coach Samuel Uganda. I'm humbled to be here to grow, to connect, and I also do agriculture in village. I do farming in onions. And I do supplies in Kampala. So that's what I'm currently doing. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm bored.
All right, thank you so much for that introduction. You could move the microphone to my brother there. All right, I think we can see that we are all multiple income stream earners. And I like the fact that we are sharing our experiences, which each one of us is picking. Over to you, my brother.
Thank you, Samuel. Good morning. I'm Ronald Tusime, and I work in Ginger. I actually traveled today morning. I've just reached. I am an accountant, and I've just been elevated recently to a finance and admin manager for Global Surgical Initiatives. I also work as a seasoned accountant or consultant at a company called Mark Capitals, where I was working previously. I am glad to be part of the TPC. I got to know TPC through Sam, and I got to know Sam, I think 3 years back, when I'd just enrolled for my CPA, and he was my tutor. But since then, I've been following Sam, and he's actually my mentor. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for introduction, and thanks for traveling all the way from Ginger. He's my mentee, but also a good friend. I remember one time he called, his HR was looking for a financial literacy trainer, and he was confident to speak my name in the meeting. So that is something very good that we need to be able to leverage in the networks. And I know that we'll continue to do greater work together. So we are learning, we continuously learn and grow. That is one of the things that we want to make sure that as the Transformation Professionals Club, I remember there's somebody who posted and said, but why are we learning all these things? We need just to start, open up a business, put in money, and then start running. But if you do not learn, you cannot earn. You make a lot of mistakes in the process if you just want to jump into something you don't understand. And continuously, there is something to learn. Even when you start a business, you need to keep yourself informed, learning, meeting new people, seeing what are they thinking. So, yeah. So welcome, Samantha.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie Valin Samantha. I serve as an auditor with RSM Eastern Africa. I'm really so glad to be here. I met Sam at, there was, I don't know if I should call it a conference, but we had something last year, which was led by Nelly. Yeah, so that was the first time I met him, and from then on, I've been an avid follower. Yeah. So in addition to audit, I also have a graphics design and branding company called Visura. We craft legacies. I had to come, like a billboard. But yes, that's what I do, and I'm really eager to learn more. And because as you said, you can't earn if you don't learn. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Samantha, for coming around, and we're glad to have you. And I like your t-shirt. Indeed, we need to be proud about our brands, and we need to continuously, whenever you introduce yourself, don't just say, I work for this organization. Speak about your brand as well, because every day you're growing your brand. Every day you're meeting new people. Every new person you meet should know what you do, because the more people you know, the more relationships, the more business you're able to open up, okay? Yeah, so very important. Have we missed any introduction? Okay, I think we've had some introductions. Thank you to our camera team from different angles. We are glad that we are here. We have some notebooks that you could use to note one or two things. I know we've had introductions, but also let's just make sure when we have the breakout sessions that we can network more. One thing I usually do is whenever I go to an event, at least I write out the names of people and I search for them on LinkedIn and I connect And our point of connecting is we have met somewhere. I'm trying to believe that every one of us is on LinkedIn. Why LinkedIn is because we're Transformation Professionals Club, and LinkedIn is one of the professional platforms. But that does not limit us from even crossing to other platforms as well. When Nicole was introducing herself, she said she met me on TikTok. At first, I underscored TikTok, but along the way, I think when I visited the platform and I saw people there and doing whatever they are doing, and also the people that I target, the young people, I found that most of their attention is on TikTok, and I thought that I could make it a resourceful platform by adding some voices there. So, which is something that I encourage you, be on these different platforms. Those different platforms is just about being in the same room, just like you've come to meet other different people. So I really encourage you to see how you can manifest yourself into the different platforms. All right. We have a lot to learn, but we shall learn progressively. Okay? We are going to learn progressively. So I want to introduce today's learning. And I know learning is not just through listening. Learning can also be through observation. Okay? I attended the last master class that was organized by another community. Why I attended that master class was because we are going to have a master class. So I went to learn and observe and see what is happening. Okay? If you're running a restaurant or you are running any kind of business, whenever you get to places, you need to continuously observe. So observation is very, very key when it comes to your aspects of learning. So as we learn through, make sure that you do what? You observe and see how things are actually flowing. Are we together? Yeah. So the key message for us in this learning is multiple income streams. Multiple income streams. But we're going to learn quite a number of other things in that journey of multiple income streams. This should get us to financial growth. Basically, we should be growing in the whole process of creating more income streams. Are we together? Now, why multiple income streams? And why is it very important for each one of us? And I've had quite a number of us here have multiple income streams, which is very, very good. So today we may not learn maybe specifically to what you're running, but we're going to learn something, and as we proceed, you'll be able to appreciate. So I'll just give a background on why it's critical for us to create multiple income streams. So quite a number of people, when they hear about money or finances, most of the messages that we hear is about saving, investment. But we live in a country where it's not easy to save because the incomes are constrained. So quite a number of people who are in, let's say, employment or even in business, they are constrained by their earnings. And it has also been designed, I think some of these messages were not told to us by, let's say, our parents we were designed to earn from one source of income. So even when you now start creating multiple income streams, you seem to be an exception, or you seem to be seen as an outlier. Even some employers don't feel comfortable seeing their employees looking for an extra income. Why? Because the system was designed in a way that the people that designed our education system designed us as servants. Basically, that we are going to work for masters. So it was designed in a way that it does not open your brain to think beyond just what you're doing. Even you who is running what you're running right now, in your mind, you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. Because you feel, I'm cheating my employer, I'm cheating my master. But what I would say is your master is cheating you because you were created for more. It's just that you were designed, everything was modeled in the way that you serve your master till you leave the earth. But you were created for something more. So that is where the aspects of financial growth come in. For you to open your mind to now a new you need to look at life holistically and look at yourself beyond you. Because in most cases, when somebody is earning, they may think about themselves. Beth just shared what she does with helping different people access education. So you need to be able to see, how do I expand my income such that I can expand my impact? Are we together? Income, impact, influence. Income, impact, influence. Income, impact, influence. These three words are very key in our journey to financial growth, okay? Whenever you create income, it helps you create more impact. Are we together? The same thing that also happens when it comes to aspects of our influence. Influence means that you can be able to influence others, influence other decisions. You can be able to take part in decision making, both for you and for the people around you. Are we together? Now, what this means is that when you have a single source of income, even influence to your life is actually hard, because you have to do things that you do not like because you're depending on that source of income. Are we together? So we need to continuously see, how do we create more income? But there are also things that we feel we were created to do more. There are things that you look out and say, I wish I had money, I would actually do these things. But because you do not have money, you look at them and you just leave it at that. But when you create more income, it helps you create more influence and create more impact. Are we together? And the other way around is also key. That when you start now to create more impact, it again replicates to create more income for you. Why? Because when you create more impact, you touch more people. And who has the money? It's the people. It's the people that do what? That have the money. So when you are impacting, it helps you, but you also get influence. When people start reaching out to you to give decisions about their lives or the lives of others, you're creating influence. It even helps you to create influence for your life as well, because you can be able to have choices. It's very sad for you to be at a point in time where you don't have a choice, but to be in that place. So multiple income streams is for all this, for income, for impact, and influence. Are we together? In this whole process, as we are trying to create income, impact, and influence, many people ask themselves, where do I start? What can I do with what I'm currently doing? Maybe you're struggling. And sometimes we struggle because of different reasons that I'm going to break into as we proceed. But you need to understand that there are key principles. Things do not happen by mistake. It's not by mistake that we have you in this place. Are we together? There is a whole system that has been built to get you to this place. And those are the kind of practical principles I want to share with you, even as we go through this session. So one of the things I've come to learn along my journey of creating multiple income streams. So I graduated in 2014, not so long ago. I'm still a young man. But one of the things that I come to realize is there's more to life than just waking up, going to work to pay bills. You can be able to create different income streams, different impacts from different places, and influence different masses. Now, on the aspect of income, which I want us to give more focus, there are certain things that you look at and ask yourself, how did we get here? Now, how many of us have read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad? Okay, we have quite a number of people here. So there is an aspect of mindset that is spoken about in that book. When you want to influence your mind to start creating multiple income streams, it starts with your mind. And you're going to move from the mind of a consumer to become a producer. You're going to move from a mind of consumer to become a producer. Now, one of the things I say that observe, okay? Observe. Most ideas are in observation. When you go to a place and you ask yourself, we're using these books, who could be making these books? By the way, one of my multiple income streams makes these books. So as simple as they are, they create an income as well. So you should be able to ask yourself and say, this furniture, this hotel, whatever meals we are going to have here, these pens, how can I also have a product? Like what is my product? Or what is my service? And who are my consumers? Because you are now a producer. Okay? Whenever you start to open your mind to now become a producer, you start seeing opportunities. When you come here and my brother mentions and says, I deal in onions, and you now trying to connect the dots on who wants the onions, that I may be able to connect them to. When somebody mentions and says they're running a poultry farm, you're like, what can I do in that area? Are we together? So your mindset is going to be very key in helping you move from consumer to producer. Most of the people, as they're introducing themselves, shared about our interface, how we met on LinkedIn or on Twitter or on X or TikTok. The time I joined social media, I made a decision and say that I am in the era of this social media. 10 years from that time, I need to be benefiting from this platform, not just as a consumer, but as a producer. And how has social media transformed my life for me to be able to tap into different places where I wouldn't have gone physically is because I started to observe. I started to see what other people are doing. And I will tell you that when you open your mind to now looking at, as a producer, you go to LinkedIn and ask yourself, because LinkedIn is a global company that has quite a number of employees that makes a lot of profit. You ask yourself, how does LinkedIn make money? And so you want to be part of the people that are benefiting from the platform. So these social media platforms put these platforms because they want to bring you to the platforms such that they can benefit from you being part of the platform, because there's somebody who wants this audience. Are we together? So ask yourself, what kind of people am I bringing together to be able to either earn from or help other people to earn from? What is your community? What are you building? Now, I think it is Charity who said she's into nutrition and wellness. Charity should now be having a community, and I checked out her Instagram and she has a community tab. So she should be looking out for people who need her service now, who may need her service 5 years from now, or even 10 years from now. Are we together? Sometimes we're looking at people from the perspective of the current, but you're forgetting that you're growing something for a long period of time. Esther, we met in 2018. 2018, we're in 2015. Those are over 7 years. Right now, she's in a room where we are learning together, and she's a member of the Professionals Club. But if I had underscored our meetup with her, maybe she would not be here. I met Remigio in 2014, and those are now about 11 years, but we're in the room. If you want to create income, you need to start thinking long term. You need to start thinking long term. And that is why you need to start reflecting about your life right now and say, how old am I? Let's say I'm 35. And ask yourself, within the next 5 years, how would my life look like? So in the next 5 years, you will be 40 years. And you get to realize that by the time you're 40, you will not be like the way you were at 20, or you will not be like the way you were at 30. The opportunities, the places that you go to, the friends, the networks would totally have changed. Okay? I went to university 10 years back. Now, the people that I studied with, like Remigio, is a branch manager. He's now a decision maker. Now he has income on himself to be able to invest, but he can also influence decisions for me. If I needed a bank loan, he can be able to help me on how to navigate. You see, relationships. But also, you're also looking at the 40 years and trying to ask yourself, one, you do not have control over, let's say, your job. 5 years from now, you do not know if you actually have that job. Even for the business that you're running, right now, people who are running businesses, you do not know if you'll be in business. The companies that we've had in different countries, I think most people usually use an example of Nokia. We used to have Nokia phones or Kodak. Even here in Uganda, there are quite a number of companies that have really gone. I used to work with an organization called Vodafone. It came here, it was the best place to work with. I remember when I was signing my contracts, I said, wow, God, you've brought my dream employer. I'll work till retirement here. And before you know it, 3 years, 4 years down the road, restructuring, termination. And the rest happened. So you need to start to think about even the uncertainties that are ahead of you and say, what kind of life do I want to have at 40? What kind of life do I want to have at 50, or do I want to have at 60? Do I have to be waking up every morning to go and do the work I'm doing? And do I even have control over the growth that I'll be able to get from my workplace? What else can I do that I have control on? Because we've said we do not have control over certain aspects. But how about I created a system that I have control? And that is where you're starting now to open your mind. Now, one of the reasons why people do not start, or why they feel limited to starting, is because sometimes they look at their ideas as from a bigger perspective. And they want to start. If you want to run a hotel in next 10 years, or maybe you're trying to look at Canary Hotel here, yet you could actually start to look and say, what are some of the other options? We have A and B. And say, do I have some places where I can be able to either rent and put on A and B and we share with the landlord? Or can I even myself just put up units and start from there? And before you know it, you have different units that have now grown into a hotel. So people see the results, they don't see the process. Okay? When I started out as a coach, I remember I told my fellow staff when in 2015, I told my colleagues that I was going to be a career coach. And I think one of them said, career coach, what does even that mean? Is it even the right path for you? Are you not just wasting time? And because I saw far, I was like, this is what I want to do. Sometimes I even get times when I doubted myself if I was on the right path. And there are actually going to be doubts that you're going to have and question yourself if you're on the right path. But again, what kept me going is thinking long term. Today, when people see the Transformation Professionals Club and they're like, you people are growing so fast, they do not know the 10 years journey that has actually gotten me here. So you need to look at your life from that and say, what am I building now? Okay? What am I building now that 10 years I'm going to be proud of myself? Ask your neighbor, what are you building now? And please respond as you ask what you're building now should have an answer to what you're building now. So about 3 minutes, let's just share what you're building. What is your 10 years like? What are you building now?
What about you?
Trying to start venturing into rentals, expand, but part of it is legacy. That keeps me I prefer doing it at home. Because there's units.
My sister also had a daycare center also at home. We have been at it for a while, and she's lost it last week. She traveled. But then my husband was at work.
Which, but
He's
ice water frosting. Yes, I should be knowing. James will know. All yes, I attended some class with him. It was online, so it may not know him physically, but I know him. I think I in charge. Yes, yes. That's nice. I'm tired of being local. Let's cross. I want to cross borders and see.
She's very good at what she does.
Yes, I'm going to look at and get an opportunity for myself. Yes, I recently did something. Yes.
What did you build in?
I want to be an administrator, but I haven't been able to connect to different bigger people because the work is through the environment. Actually, I don't know any. I'm an administrator, so I haven't yet gotten the opportunity to be a point of bigger spaces.
I can get you have been there for quite a long time before you crossed insurance. I was still doing the administration, but managed and I was traveling to various. I was a regional coordinator then, so I would manage about 10 districts. I've been in administration for now 10 years.
So is your neighbor thinking long term?
And hold
All right. Big dreams, eh? We have big dreams in this place. This is a place for big dreamers. And let me tell you, when I started my career coaching journey, I started what is called Career Magazine Uganda. Those that followed me in the earlier stages. So I wanted to create a magazine where people would write about career and other people are inspired. Along the journey, the concept changed. I now started looking at aspects of business as well. But even before that, Career Magazine Uganda turned into 8 to 5 Career Solutions Uganda. And I think those were several years back. And along the journey, I realized that it was not just about career. I had another kind of community that I wanted to reach. So that is how I started the Business and Career Solutions Africa. And we've evolved as an organization. And about 2 years back, I envisioned to have a community. One of the things that used to challenge me is I had gotten a lot of exposure and a lot of learnings, but I did not have a community of like-minded people. So you could ask yourself, where did Coach Samuel learn all these things? Why did he even think about doing the things he does? So one of the things that I did is I leveraged on platforms like Facebook. So Facebook, those are global communities. So somehow there was a Nigerian who came here for a conference. So I followed the Nigerian on Facebook. And in following, I saw he had very good content. And he had other people. So I went and now tried to look at his friends to see what they are doing, what they are sharing. And I found these people resourceful. And somehow, I got into a community of people that were very aggressive about their ambitions in life. That community is called Head Start Africa. It was a very active community during that time. So people were writing every day about different things. they were showing up. We used to have a video Tuesdays. People would show up in video. So I started showing up as well, learning, observing. Again, I said observation. So from there, I started to see even people who are doing exactly what I was doing. And that gave me the courage. For whatever you've just spoken to your neighbor of what you're envisioning 10 years from now, make sure that you look for about 5 people. Look for 5 people who are doing what exactly you want to do. 5 people that are doing exactly what you want to do. And this could be people who are doing it locally, and this could also be people who are doing it globally. 5 people who are doing exactly what you're doing. And then, as you're looking at for the 5 people, ensure that you're also looking at the companies, the brands that these people are running, because these are totally 2 different things. The people and the brands, they are running whatever they are running. Now, one of the things that has elevated me and helped me to get to the level of creating multiple income streams is understanding people. Understanding people. I'm a student of life who will invest time to just understand someone. Now, we have quite a number of resources, and online has helped open doors into people's lives even without meeting them. So one of the gentlemen that I understudy is Vusi. Some of us know Vusi here. So when I was starting out the Transformation Professionals Club, Vusi runs the VT 100, and it is a club that he runs. One of the things that I did was to get and understand how the club runs. Are we together? So your next opportunity or the next big thing, you will actually realize that there are quite a number of people who are doing it. Sometimes how to even find these people is go to Google and just search for what you want to do. You could also go to other platforms, LinkedIn and so on. When you get to realize, or when you find out about someone who is doing exactly, now look for them everywhere where they are. If they're on TikTok, look for them. If they're on Instagram, just make sure you follow them and see what they are doing. Now, one of the things I said, you need to move from being a consumer to becoming a producer. When you're understanding people, ask yourself, important, why is he doing what? Their family. What that they build? They build trust. They build trust and build likability. They build trust and build likability. Those 2 things. And it is also said that people buy from you because of 2 reasons. They like you, they trust you. So every day, you need to ask yourself, what am I doing every day to grow my likability? The person who is going to buy from you, people buy people. Do we agree? Yeah. People buy people because there are quite a number of products, same products. But you find that somebody will choose and say, I'm going to buy from this person. Why? Because they like them. And how do you get people to like you? Can we have some answers? How do you get people to like you? Any volunteers?
By being authentic.
By being authentic. Okay? Authenticity is one of them. And how do you be authentic? Means that you do not you do not hide behind the camera. There are people who are running businesses, but when you tell them go live, share a video, that is the worst thing they can ever do. Because before a customer buys from you, the first thing they check out is authenticity. So we're in the era of social media. So somebody to buy from you will go online, click on your profile, and they'll go through your last 10 posts, and they will make a judgment whether you're authentic or you're not authentic. Okay? Authenticity is very key. Any other trial? Consistency. Please write that word, consistency. When you are consistent in both how often you do whatever you do, but also consistency in your offering. Today you say, this is what we offer. And somebody comes and consumes your product and recommends another person to come and consume your product, and they get a totally different experience, you're not consistent. So consistency is being able to remain what you sell out, okay? And then the other is related to consistency is showing up every day, okay? Show up every day, because you do not know whom you're meeting. You do not know who is watching. Those are two different things. Showing up every day. Consistency. It reminds me when they first hosted me on NTV, they reached out and I was busy at work. You know, sometimes juggling career with these alternative sources of income sometimes not easy. So I turned down that opportunity. It was very painful. I turned it down because I had a training that I needed to be part of at work. Now, when the call came in again, I went and did the interview. The lady tells me that we were disappointed by your first saying no. But because you're consistent in your work, in what you do and put out there, we felt that we could have you and give you another opportunity. Okay? So consistency is very important. Please tell your neighbor that somebody is watching. Somebody is watching.
Somebody is watching.
Now, in your consistency, somebody is watching your consistency. There are customers who are not going to pay you in the first year. There are customers who are not going to pay you in the second year. There are customers who are not going to pay you in the third year. But they will show up in the fourth year. Why? You've been consistent. You've been consistent. So you have grown that likability. Are we together? Any other that helps us to be likable? Reliability. Okay? Reliability. When you say, I'll deliver that order in 2 days, it should be in 2 days. And sometimes it might be even flexibility for somebody to know that I'll give this gentleman my order and he will come around. For some people who came for the masterclass, reached out to me and said, Samuel, I'm not able to make the payment, but I want to attend the masterclass. And I was like, come through. And that person comes and feels they are part of a community that understands them. So reliability is very important. Okay? Okay? Very, very important. Any other? Likability? Availability? Yes. Be available. Show up. Show up. There are times when sometimes I'm invited for certain webinars. I remember my wife in the early stages of my career coaching would ask me, but what are they exactly paying you to do that? So there's this time I was invited by some lady. She's actually she's called Barbara. Some of you know her. She's called Barbara Kasekende. So Barbara Kasekende was working for Stanbic Bank as the head. I think she was into CSR. So the first time we met with Barbara was during an Assam event. So Barbara was invited as a speaker, and I was also invited. After we were done with the event, because I knew Barbara was in a position of influence, and I wanted to tap into the work that she was doing with the National School Championship, so I reached out to her on LinkedIn and said, nice sharing the same platform with you. You're doing a great work. I'm always available if you need me to be part of whatever you're doing. And we left it at that. I don't know if she responded. So it took us a year, but she was seeing the work I was doing online, LinkedIn, and I was also very intentional. Sometimes when you want to connect with the right people, you need to be very intentional. So I did not end on a DM. I made sure I'm visible to her. So I would even go to her posts and intentional do what? Comments. I need to be seen. I need to show up to build the relationship. Within about a year or and a half, I received a call from Barbara. This was like, I think, about 27th December. We're just from the village for Christmas. Barbara calls me and says, Samuel, I'm here. We have a show that we want to put out that is to help young people. And I've followed you for quite a while. You're doing great work in the area of career. Can you be able to come through and be part of it and do a session? And she gave me a disclaimer and told me, this is a pro bono. So there is no payment expected. I said yes. So I drive my car. We had just come from the village. I dropped the family and looked for the suits, drove to Buziga. We did the show. They were shooting from Buziga. So I went there. So as I get into the place, there were quite a number of great people who had also come to be part of the show. They had different segments, different people speaking at different things. So it was a grant for me to meet people. But as I get in, when I was about to do my session, Barbara walks with a gentleman and introduces me to a gentleman. Now that gentleman was the one who was running, who was now the person who is the project director of the program I wanted to be part of. Earlier on, so introduces me and says, this is Samuel. He's very passionate about what he does. He's doing great work around young people. I think he would be a good resource in supporting you. You could be able to work together on various things. So the gentleman immediately, of course, connects, takes my number, says, Samuel, we need to link up. So before I know it, the gentleman calls me. He called me for a totally different thing. So he tells me, we have this kind of work. We need your support. You're a financial person. I went for that meeting. I think I went for about 5 meetings with him. We didn't even discuss how much he'll pay me, but I just showed up. Then along the way, they were running their program, the Stanbic program. So I see him check out my LinkedIn. You know, when you go to LinkedIn and you see who viewed your profile? So I see who viewed your profile. So I was like, who is this person who viewed my profile? Next thing I see, sends me a WhatsApp. And Samuel, we have this program that is running, because I was already aware of the program. And we are looking for a business judge. can you be able to judge for this team, Stanbic? And that's where the relationship started. So I was able to get into the projects, did great work. I remember even on the highlights, I think I was speaking on NBS TV, representing the judges before ministers, dignitaries, board members of Stanbic, and quite a number of other people. So why am I sharing this story? I'm sharing is that sometimes what you're looking for, you're not just going to go and pick it. It is going to take you different places. And remember, we're speaking about likability. People are going to like you because you create time for them. There is that natural attraction that comes with somebody who shows up. We should have the TPC webinars. Many people come in and flow and watch them and listen. Some of them we may never meet. Some of them may never subscribe and be part of the club. But we are there. We are available. Because you do not know who is watching. Sometimes the person who is watching what you do, for you might be looking at it to benefit from the person you're helping. But another person is watching you help this person, and they'll open a door for you. Are we together? Are we learning something? We need to create that likability. Now, the other aspect of likability that you need to create is people need to know your story. Tell your neighbor, story. Story time. Story time. Why do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? Okay? When my sister here, Patricia, give me a tin of body. So when there's a time when Patricia shared about her products of making peanut butter, and we were doing a live session. So I reached out to her. Of course, she's a TPC member, and I always want to support people because I believe that quite a number of people have supported me along the way, and I need to support others as well. But when I reached out, she did not just sell to me the product or share with me the products. She told me of how she got here. So she says they used to do these things at home with the mother, and she learned through, and that's how she got here. It was not a long story. But what am I saying? Why am I telling about Patricia's story? Is because I knew that she did not just wake up in the morning and just create this, that she has been doing this for a long period of time. There was a level of trust that came through. But I also people like stories. Okay? People like stories. So if you are when Charity was sharing about her story, didn't we like it? Of how she went losing weight, and now she wants to help other professionals lose weight in the right way. Okay? That is awesome. And you see, stories are also memorable. Because she has shared her story, I've been able to remember the story. What story do you have? Or what story are you telling out there? So you need to create a story. Stories help create authenticity and help you to be likable. And sometimes the story could be just about you. Why do you do what you do? When I do this coaching and mentorship, because when I was starting out in my career, when I was leaving high school, trying to figure out what I can do, I remember some people telling me you can be a good engineer, you can do teaching, because teaching was easy to get on government. Some people told me you're good at mathematics, so you could do accounting. Then there's a gentleman whom I asked about accounting and told me, I have many friends who have done the same course and they're not employed. They have taken over several years without being employed. What are you going to exactly do with that course? Even my teachers, because I was the best science student in my school, so my teachers were discouraged because they were felt, how can our best science student go and do accounting? So I felt there was a gap in mentorship because I struggled to find the right people to talk to. The people I found were discouraging me, were speaking from their experiences. They were not coaching me into the right path. And even along my journey, I got to realize that, who is helping the young person? As we're running Transformation Professionals Club, the world is transforming. AI is here. Technology has come through. You see, we're in the era of digital marketing, and digital marketing has been here for the last 10 years or whatever, decade. But there are people up to now who just have an account, and that is enough to them. But they forget that employers are making decisions before they recruit you. Nicole can testify. When you're recruiting, don't you check out people's LinkedIn profiles? Even yesterday, when we had Coach Ruth Ndriga, she shared and said, when I'm going to recruit, I check out people's profiles. And I don't only end on the profiles, I see what are they sharing. Now, when you utilizing your social media platforms in sharing your story, sharing your wisdom, when somebody clicks on it and they read what you share, they will like you. Even before you get to the interview room, already they like you. There are quite a number of opportunities I've gotten through LinkedIn, even job kind of interviews. And you get into the room and the panelists already know you. So you basically, you're not just explaining yourself that you're the best staff, but you already have a foundation that you're building on. People already have an impression about you. Are we together? So, and that is why we said we need to create a Transformation Professionals Club to have more professionals be transformed. I should not be the only person who is knowing these things. Other people should be knowing them. But also the people that know these great things should come and share with people. We're basically a community of people that are growing each other, learning from each other, connecting with each other. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we connect, we learn, we grow, and earn. And there's a reason why earn was the last word. Even there's a reason why connect is the first word. There's a background to everything. There's a system to everything. Ask your neighbor, are you observing? Yes. We need to be able to observe because it is from that we're able. So, likability, very key. People buy from you because they like you, because they trust you. Now, I just want to mention about trust, then we can go in our break. Now, trust. Maybe you could just have some answers as well. How do you build trust? Either as a professional brand or as a business. How do you build trust? I know some of the answers may be related to how we build likability, but how do we build trust? Yes?
Through offering value.
Through offering value. Through offering value. Now, when she mentions that word value, I'm reminded of something. Because the value that I may be sharing through my teaching today may not speak to someone. But the next time I share another kind of post or video, that person may be able to get value. And value is also like dating. When I think it is, sometimes it's mostly us, the men, but also the women, that are trying to, we're always trying to see how do we create value in our dating relationships, such that people see that they need us, we don't need them. Are we together? Now, in business, your customers need to be dated. You need to date your customers. And how you date your customers is you show up every day and give it for free. Show up every day and give it for free. The customer will feel like, there's something that else that he's yet to give me, or she's yet to give me, that I need now to ask for. And sometimes the customers are also impatient, that the value you're giving them, they want more value. Are we together? But if you've been giving value, even the negotiation will be different. Are we together? Because the customer is now coming from a point of need, and they are very sure it is you who is going to help them in that position. But how did they know? Because they tapped into an element of value. Are we together? So we are in a noisy world. And by noisy, I'm saying there are lots of things that are taking people's attention. Now, for you to grab attention, you need to create value. Create value for people. Either it's somebody you think can pay you, or they may not pay you. I was giving an example of Ronald. Ronald, by show of hands, Ronald, where are you? So this is my first time meeting Ronald. But there are quite a number of, Ronald has been my student. I already mentioned that he recommended me in his organization for a training. But we've never met. He doesn't know me personally. But what does he know? He knows my value. So you need to create value such that people start speaking about you. When Barbara was introducing me, she was very sure she was introducing a valuable person. So the reason why you're not attracting certain opportunities right now is because people do not know your value. And value is not spoken. Value is done. You have to do the value. You have to create the value. There's a reason why I have a YouTube channel, Coach Samuel Ibanda. When you go to that channel, it has over 100 videos. I'll tell you that the kind of opportunities I've received from those 100 videos is immense. Last year, Joanne, whom I invited to one of the TPC sessions, made a post because she invited me to facilitate a session at the NSSF for their staff who were about to get into retirement. And when we were about 25 minutes into the session, Joanne posts a post and says, because she says, I'm meeting Samuel for the first time, but what came out very clearly is why she made a decision about me. She said, because of Samuel's posts and YouTube videos, I felt he was the right person to be part of us. I started doing videos in 2012, but the opportunity has come in 2024. Are we together? What value are you creating today? Value is a seed that will manifest into fruits. Are we together? And value, you do not need to be perfect to start creating value. Sometimes we think we have to be perfect, we have to know it all to start creating value. I started to show up as a career coach in my first role. Why? Because I knew there are quite a number of people who have not gotten to my level that needed my message. And through the journey, I've actually continuously refined. There are certain things that happen to me, and I'm like, these are happening to me such that I can learn and help other people. So value is not created at the point in time where you're the expert. Start creating value. When you create value, you become valuable yourself. When you create value, you become valuable yourself. You agree with me here that if you know something and you teach it, you become so good at it that even other people who now, let's say, now see your value, will be able to grow in the process. You basically, when you're creating value, most of the times we're asking ourselves, but why am I doing this? Why am I offering this for free? Now, as you offer it for free, you're growing in the process. But again, I said, value is going to open doors. Another notion is value creates more value. Okay? Value creates more value. So you're basically creating value for yourself. And you do not know. This week, I happened to be invited again on NTV. And somebody asked me, but why did they invite you back very fast? And while I was in the studio, in one of the commercial breaks, my host tells me that when we hosted you, the MD called us to the office and told us, you're doing a great job. The person you've invited has done a great job. My host tells me so. And they even went on to say that when we hosted you, our audience requested that they call you back. Because we always ask our audiences which people have done well that we can call back. So that's how I was able to get back for my second interview. And before you know it, I'm going to be a common face on TV. And you know what that kind of value is going to create for me? Opportunities. Sometimes we look at income as saying, guys, I sell this OD. So every day you show up selling OD. How about you get this OD and start to say, just do a research and say, what kind of nutrients are in this OD? Start from the point of value and say, you see this OD that you see here? It has ingredients that could protect your body from disease. This OD, instead of using blue band or whatever it is that will bring fats in your body, your children and yourself could apply this to your bread. And this could actually save you millions of money that you could be spending on in aspects of diabetes and so on. This OD you're seeing here could be the reason why you're not losing weight. And this could be an addition to your meal, to your menu. You see, we are speaking about value. Before you know it, somebody's like, how much? And you've already sold. Are we together? What is your value? That is one thing that I keep asking myself. And value, like I said, value is refined every day. You don't remain stuck because you think you're valuable. Every day, read. Every day, observe. Every day, invest in yourself. Continuously grow your value. Because when you grow your value, you attract value. There are quite a number of people that call me, or top government officials, people in high places that reach out to me, and I'm wondering, who am I to get access to such kind of networks? But because they see the value. I show up every day sharing the value. There are times when I feel like I just can't do it, maybe because I have had a long day, I'm going through a tough moment, but then I remember about what value has created for me, and I show up. Those that follow me on LinkedIn, you realize that I post every day. And I don't post every day because I have a lot of time on me. I don't post every day because I like it. I post every day because that is how value is created. Because somebody may think you do it because you like it, because you have enough time. I don't have, there are times when I sleep at 2 to make sure that you can read a post in the morning. But I'm creating value. And that value is going to replicate. I usually speak about that. When you're thinking about multiple income streams, you're the first income stream yourself. You're the first income stream yourself. Ask yourself, what kind of money is coming through my personal brand? Because your personal brand could generate for you millions of money that even your career may not be able to generate. I started small, just putting out my videos, but right now, organizations call me and they pay me handsomely. Are we together? So, trust like ability. But in everything that you do, you're serving. Are we together? Service. Service is very important. And as a leader, you have to understand that you are created to serve. There are times when you feel like you don't feel like showing up, but then think about the people that you serve. When I feel like not showing up to make a LinkedIn post, I think about the people that have been impacted by what I create. There are times I usually share about the journey of how we started the Transformation Professionals Club. I think Patricia was one of those people who were in that club. We were about 3 people for about some months. 3 people there. But she trusted the value and she joined in, and she was seeing value ahead. So even times when I felt like I shouldn't start this club, I remembered these 2 people who were in that club. And I felt that I need to do it. And I had to take the start. I had to make sure that I need to have this vision birthed. And this is why we're here today. Create value every day. Create value every day. When you create value, money is going to come from these different corners. It could be a long journey, but remember we said, think long term. Think long term. When in 10 years from now, we'll all be different. But your value will get you into places that you never thought you'd get to. So create value every day. Show up to create value. Either in your business, either in your personal brand, just continue to create value. Even in your job as well. Okay? Yeah. So we'll take a small commercial break such that we can have something to drink for our physical audience. We have our online audience that are following in. We thank you so much. And we also thank you so much, our physical audience, who has enabled us to create value for our virtual audience as well. And we believe we are learning. Okay? Yeah, so we shall take a small commercial break. I hope our team is ready. So we'll be able to resume. Let's it's 37 past, so let's do about 20 minutes and come back. In the breakout session, do not make sure you network, make sure you take a contact. At least leave this room with about 10 contacts on the aspect of money. But there is more that we can add if at all we are intentional. Are we together? Some of the relationships I've been able to build have been about being intentional. Either it is just showing up and commenting on people's posts, liking them, supporting them. There are people that I even invite to, let's say, on my webinars, because I just want to support them. I just feel like whatever they are doing is something that is serving out there. I just need to support them. And I've also been helped in the process. Like, I've also been supported by strangers who have given me a platform to be able to speak on. So let's just continue with that kind of showing each other love in the process. and continuously supporting. That's how we build relationships. So as we continue to build relationships, we're getting into our second phase of our session, and I like the fact that we have we now have everyone done. Some people are finishing, but we can be able to progress. And I can see phones exchanging hands, which shows that we are connecting. We are doing what? Yes, we are connecting. From the connecting, we do conversion, okay? You don't end on only connecting. Have you ever seen someone or had someone who has over, let's say, several contacts in their phone, but they do not have anyone they can reach out when they are in need, okay? In the first session, we mentioned about value. Create value for your connections. Make sure that continuously you are creating value for your connections. And that is how your connections are also going to create for you value. Are we together?
Yeah.
Yes. So I look forward to seeing more testimonies of people saying, I met somebody at the TPC masterclass and they have recommended me, or I met someone on the TPC masterclass and I've recommended them. There's something that happened with my friend Philip Chilowa, who is a financial literacy trainer. Philip joined the Transformation Professionals Club, and within about a month, even not shorter than a month, one of our mentors, who is Coach Diana, looked out for a trainer who could do facilitate financial literacy. Now, Philip came first in my mind, not because there are quite a number of other trainers that could have come to my mind, but one, Philip shows up every day to share content about financial literacy. So I might have thought about Philip immediately after reading his post about financial literacy. So keep showing the value. But as well,
I'll send you a message.
Philip, when Coach Dana reached out to me, I told her, but Coach Dana, I cannot even do this. I'm busy at work, but somebody else can do it. And then she mentioned, do you have somebody you could recommend? Then I thought about Philip, because Philip had just joined our club and he's a resourceful person, and he's somebody who is doing it because he does this as a full-time kind of job. So I was like, how about Philip? Then Coach Diana is like, oh, I've interacted actually with Philip. He has reached out. Let me give him a chance. So Philip goes and does a very good job. Philip, I got very good feedback from Coach Diana. One of the things that is very important is that when people recommend you, make sure you do a good job. Make sure that whatever door is opened for you, you continuously show value. Are we together? Because that is how you build more reputation. When people take a chance on you, be like the way Coach Diana, Coach Joan did. Within about few minutes, they went on to make a post and said, I made the right decision for inviting Coach Samuel. And that comes with continuously improving yourself and showing up to your best. Are we together? So we have people that just joined us that I just want them to introduce themselves, and then we can be able to proceed. So we have our camera team that I would just want to just introduce themselves in one or two, just about 1 minute, and then we will have another round of other people who just joined us later on.
It's a great pleasure to be here, to be part of this team. My name is Kuninga Aaron, and besides being a photographer, I'm an analyst, and evaluator who has encountered so many opportunities on my way to where I am today. Like in our economy or in our Uganda as we are moving. I graduated in 2016, and my first job which came onto my table was I was working with Uganda Breweries as a sales manager by that time at that younger age. And you know, from school and jumping into money, what it means at that I was 21. Yeah, by that time I was 21 years. As a sales person with the Uganda Brewers. And I worked there for 2 years consecutively. Later on, but from my influence from the parents, they will kill you, what and what, I had to jump out of that career again. I joined organizational work, where I landed to rate CC, that's with health, URC. It was working with EC, dealing with health. As a data, I started with a data clerk. I worked for them for 3 years. I joined the MJAB. From MJAB, I joined TASO, where I was till this pump effect, the wave, right? But as being that I'm blessed to be part of this, if that I wasn't following my mentor here, I would have been left behind. But since I had a surviving work I was doing, besides my hustle, I would have been jobless by today. But because of what we see or what inspires us, our environment we live in, that's how we maneuvered to be that today we are standing. And when I started up with this idea, it wasn't my individual idea. It was my fiance's idea that lady standing behind there. Who was taking you photos, Yeah, she's the one who came out with that idea, and she's the one who was standing behind the studio. Me, I usually come on weekends to go in the field to have some functions, what and what. So she's the backbone behind my standing today. Wow. Thank you.
Wow. That reminds me, as the Transformation Professionals Club, our goal is to create transformation professionals. Professionals that can transform from one aspect to another. My desire is to see that you're not shattered by one loss. It basically just creates an avenue for you to create more time for another course. And even as we came today to learn more about the practical strategies of how we can create multiple income streams, we are seeing this life by example. We are seeing people who lost their job a few months back, but they have not stopped there. They are transforming into something else. Are we together? Remember I said, you do not create an income stream at the point of need. You create it right now when you feel like you have abundance, because you do not know what tomorrow holds. So I want to say thank you so much, Aaron, and thanks to your fiancé for supporting you as well, because there's something to do with supporting each other, and especially when we get families supporting each other, I think it's a very important thing. Usually in growing your multiple income streams, you will need a support system, because there are things that you're not able to run on your own. So when you get either your brother or either your spouse, somebody who is supporting you every day, I think that pushes you forward. So thank you so much for that. So I'll move the microphone right here so we can hear from these other visitors that are putting on similar colors. They will also tell us. Yeah, you could do about 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. Excellent. Thank you so much, colleagues, and praise the Lord. Very good morning to everyone and good afternoon. I'm Balidawa Ronald Michael. This is Balidawa Lavisa, but she will tell you more about herself. We are here as a team on the invitation of our coach. We're here to transform our lives and the lives of other people. We work with Vision for Africa, a big organization, but we also have our own consult team that we are calling the TEI, Consult Uganda. And the reason for all this is to have a buffer, that when one boat is sinking, there is a rescue team around. And that's the main reason as to why we said we need to come here and add knowledge, add skills and networks. And we do train, just as you can see. We train and we train the teachers, because we are teachers by profession. We are school managers as well, so we do train in administration and management of schools and how to transform school systems. We also do church work because we work with family life. So we organize conferences, seminars for children, seminars for the couples. We do organize seminars for community elderly women mostly, because we know they are very vulnerable, and when it comes to issues of enterprise, we are here to breastfeed more and see how we can enlarge these communities. Thank you so much for now.
All right. So we'll give this other lady as well to just say something.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Praise God. My name is Lovin Savalidewa. I'm also happy to be part of you. I'm the coach's sister. God bless you.
Okay, you didn't introduce yourself. Could you just say hi to the team?
President members, I'm Nasaja Gertrude, espoused to Mr. Kuringa Aaron, who is on camera right now. I'm a teacher by profession. I'm a secondary teacher. Unfortunately, I'm not doing teaching. I'm in photography and videography. And we are located at Kajasi, around Stage Japan Road. That's it. Actually, I'm a mother of two.
Wow, thank you so much. We have some other camera team members behind here, so I could just have one of them here introduce themselves.
James Setoko is my name. I work with Classic Baking and Catering in Uganda. We specialize in cooking and baking related services. That is, if you want to learn how to cook, how to bake, we are the answer. If you want a wedding cake, you want catering services for your function, we are the answer. Juices, etc. We are located in Sasi, Chanja Road, that is behind Dunlu Complex. One of the reasons why I'm here is because of this gentleman. This gentleman has worked with me in the journey of entrepreneurship. From inception, that is 2017 to date. He's my finance advisor. He does a very good job, extremely good. We shared a lot in common because we were in moves. He was doing BCom, I was doing entrepreneurship. I worked for 2 years and later joined business. But since then, we are doing an amazing job, and he's doing extremely well in terms of guiding us on what to do. If I tell you what we have done and how we have saved several times, it is because of him, but the support system is very key. And that explains how I've sacrificed my Saturday to be here. So thank you very much. Of course, from entrepreneurship, having realized a lot of opportunities in the culinary business or in the hospitality business, I chose to go for masters in culinary arts instead of going for masters in entrepreneurship. So that means you need to look at what is in the market, yeah, and not what everybody is doing. If you check for courses in culinary arts, they are not there in Africa. You get those that are in Europe are very expensive. The first culinary course that is currently there is in Chambogo. It's a postgraduate course. If you want a master's in Africa, it is not there. So those are the things you're supposed to be looking at. How do you become not independent, but how do you take advantage of that small space? Because right now, that's the space I'm looking at. Most of the chefs that are there have certificates, diplomas. Those who have masters in hospitality and leisure. For us, we are saying culinary arts. Right now, if you look at instructors in that sector, they are not there. If you want to lecture as specific for that sector, they are not there. So that's the space I am taking advantage of. Thank you very much.
Okay, you have a question for him?
Yeah, yes. I would like him to expand more on culinary arts.
Kindly, please try
That's exactly what I wanted. Because you can imagine, for all the times you've been in business, for the experience you have, you know all jobs, right? But you don't know about culinary arts. That's exactly what I wanted. Culinary arts is purely being specific on cooking, baking. Basically, it is a kitchen concept. That instead of having hospitality and leisure at large, where they give you just an element of it, here they take you through the business element and the skill itself. So you come out when you're actually knowledgeable in both. It's a concept that is new simply because now everybody is focusing on what you eat. Yeah? It's not about just food. What do you eat? And they tell you food determines everything that happens to your body. So most people are running to nutrition. Yes, nutrition is good, but it's part of the culinary arts. So this one is strictly about food. Then leisure and hospitality talks about everything in the ecosystem. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. There's another camera person here. So these people are not just on the camera. They are doing great things. Sometimes when you find them and judge them from that, you miss out.
Praise God, everyone. Amen. Thank you for coming. My name is Amon Chiramike. I'm a senior journalist and I work with PBS Telefinder. This is my first time to attend such classes and I'm so impressed. He is my brother.
It's becoming a family affair. No. We'll first wait to introduce family members and get into more learnings. But good to have each one of you here, and thanks so much for supporting. When you see family people supporting each other, I think that is how we're able to grow. And when I saw that this session is valuable, I wanted to have even my family members to be in the room, such that they can also learn. You see, there's a lot that you've learned along your life journey that you shouldn't die with. You should tell other people some of these things. The experiences that only you know, like my sister who was in Russia, I can't comprehend the life that is in that area, but somebody can be able to see, how can I tap into that? How can I work for an international organization? How can I think beyond Uganda? Are we together? Yes, so I want us to get back into our second part of the session. As we we'll just speak on from what we started earlier on. And I'm just going to share with you some of the principles that have also helped me in my journey of creating multiple income streams that you can also be able to leverage on. So I want to start. I'm going to share it in terms of their principles, and I'm going to break them down as we proceed. So as we have understood that if we are to earn multiple income streams, we have to change our mindset, we have to start creating value, we have to start to think long term, and we have to continuously see how do we evolve ourselves. So there are principles I live with, or what you may also call key pillars of this journey. So 5 pillars. You can call them 5 pillars of success. Now, before I get into those 5 pillars, you should ask yourself, what does success mean to me? If it's financial growth, you see, when we speak about financial growth or wealth, it means different for us. For some people, it may mean owning a hotel like this one. For some people, it might be helping another kind of number of people, like my sister Beth, who is thinking about doing an NGO, or Sylvia, who deals in an NGO that deals with single women. It could just be around your family as well, or yourself, elevating yourself to another level. So what does success mean to you? So these principles I've used them and they have really been helpful. And of course, I also call them pillars. So I just want to share about one of the key pillar of people. And it is from this key pillar of people that we are here today. Because whatever we want to achieve lies in people. And that is why, as a community transformation professionals club, we bring you into the room of those people. Because the person who holds your next opportunity is not so far from you. Some things you're not going to achieve them by your own. You need people. Are we together? So people could be opportunity openers for you, but people could also be part of your team that is going to deliver whatever you want to deliver to change the world. So people is an aspect. Now, these people, some people may call it the connections, okay? The connections. So in your journey of financial growth, every day you have to continuously grow your connections, your people. Are we together? And how do you grow your people? By not just meeting somebody and ending there. I remember talking about aspect of value. When you meet someone, ask yourself, how can I add value to this person? When you have come to be part of this club, you should be asking yourself, how do we help other people get the same message? Because we should be filling up Serena for people to hear this message. How can I support to be part of that initiative? And that is how you also replicate the same support for you as well. I've seen it working. So people every day create relationships. Relationships are quite important. Remember, you do not know where the person you've met today will take you. They even do not know what opportunity or door you open. Every person you see here has over 1,000 people behind them. And sometimes all you need is somebody to speak your name in a room where you're not. And that comes with people. So in people, you'll find mentors, you'll find friends, you'll find fans. Fans, those are kind of people who are just interested in the work you do and just want to support you. You'll find funders. You'll find fail-founders, okay? You'll find sponsors. You'll find family, etc. That is what happens with the aspect of people. So every day ask yourself, whom am I connecting with? Which room am I getting into? Like I told you, there are events which I go to when I know whatever they are going to teach, either I'm aware of, but I go there because I want to meet one person who opened another door for me. So that is quite important. And whenever you meet people, that is a point of connection, but again, you nurture the relationship. Remember, I said, you see, just as we do dating before we have our spouses, the same thing with the relationships that you get. You have to nurture those relationships. And I gave you the trick. See how you can find value to the other person. That is how the other person will find worthy keeping you. Are we together? So people is very important. The other that I want to share about is your personal brand. Your personal brand. What do people say about you in a room you're not? There are quite a number of people here that are making decisions about you. You're here, but they are already making decisions about you. Either to hire you, either to buy from you, or even firing you. People are making decisions about you in rooms you're not. So make sure that people do not feel like you need them. Let them feel they need you. Let them feel they need you. And how do you make them feel they need you? Is showing up with value. Showing up with value. They say your gifts will get you to places to eat dine with the kings. Show up with value every day. That is what your personal brand. Somebody will be confident to speak about your name, and they say this person, they'll put their name for you because they have trusted your personal brand. We are in the era of technology that you do not need to attend 100 events to connect and grow your personal brand. Even if you have 4 people following you, those 4 have 1,000 people behind them. If you're showing up, sometimes online you show up and you have 2 likes, but somebody is actually following you. And believe me, the people that make the decisions do not like or comment, but they are watching. Remember what I said? It may take 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years for somebody to buy from you. And they will say, I was always watching you. There are people who reach out and say, I've been following your content. And I'm like, why haven't you been even commenting? Like, I've never seen you comment or whatever. But those people are following you. Sometimes what happens in your personal brand, a good trick to do, when somebody tells you about somebody in this era of technology, the first thing you're going to do is to Google them. You're going to run to Google and Google the person, okay? So those that are online, I want you to Google Coach Samuel Ibanda. And I want you to just look at the first page and tell me what you think. If it was your first time to hear about my name, and somebody told you there's this gentleman, he's called Coach Samuel Ibanda, I want you to give me what you would think. Just scroll through and see what you're able to see. That is your personal brand. Because people are Googling you. People do not just make purchase decisions. They don't just buy. They don't just invite you for interviews on TV. They don't just publish you in the articles. They are checking you out. Now, I know some people are introverts or do not want to put themselves out there. But there are certain things you're going to do not because you like them, but because you need them. Because you do what? You need them. When you are intentional about your personal brand, means that whoever checks you out is you're giving them a ground to make a decision on whether to be your friend or to just ignore you. Now, when you're working on your personal brand, make sure that somebody cannot ignore you. Somebody feels they need you. You don't need them. They need you. Can somebody volunteer to tell me what they saw when they saw my first my profile? You could just put up your hand and just say what you've seen. Yes?
Accountant and speaker.
Accountant and speaker. So would you hire me for an accounting role? Why?
It shows and based much you've been sharing the content and that it have interfered with you.
Okay. Okay. Would you have me as a speaker?
Yes.
Why?
From the different TPC sessions.
Okay. Now, what about from the Google there? In case you've not been part of TPC, is there anything that shows that I can speak? Exactly. So people trust you because other people have trusted you. Are we together? So your personal brand is very important. After you've Googled me, please Google your name and see what you see. And see what you do about it. So the reason why I'm on different platforms is because of visibility. There are platforms that I'm on that I sometimes post and only get 2 likes, 4 likes, but I'm happy I'm there. And before you know it, somebody is telling you, I found you on this platform. Let me give you an example. So my first attempt to appear on NTV. One, I knew I needed to appear on NTV because it's a leading television in Uganda here. And quite a number of people that I look up to, again, understudy people, have leveraged on TV. Okay? Some of my mentors, Miles Monley, Tony Robbins, Vusi Thembekwayo, John Obidi, quite a number of them have been on TV. They have not been just in the confines of wherever they are. They have been on TV. So I knew I needed to appear on TV. So what I did, you know what I did first? Is to find out where is the host on social media, the host of the program. So somehow it so happens that the host is not on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my biggest platform. So I realized my host, he's on X. So I had a few followers on X, and it's not a platform that I really wanted to be to. But I knew that is the only way they would see me. Or if they were to do a due diligence on me, that was the easy application that they would easily access me. So I went, followed them. I started to be active on X. I even subscribed to have a premium account, such that when somebody visits my profile, they see me as a serious person. You get it? There's a reason why you also see those photos with me in a tie, smiling. The smiling is to build the likability. When people see you in a gloomy face, people are attracted by a smile. So there's a reason why I put on that smile. Not that everything is fine, but because I know what that means. Okay? So make sure that when somebody checks out you, you're representing your brand. What people want you want them to see. Because you see, your personal brand helps you tell your own story. Some of you do not know even where I come from or whatever, but you're here because of my personal brand. Some of you have forfeited quite a number of programs to be here because I've built trust. So that's why I'm telling you that when you observe, you get to realize that there are people who are doing certain things intentionally. When I started out as a speaker, I struggled to find people invite me. Of course, I didn't have the credibility anyway. So what did I do? I created my own platform where I would invite other people to come and speak. You see that saying where they say, if they don't call you to the table, carry the table? Yes. So that is what you do. Create your own table, such that you are a decision maker. You have influence. Now, there are people who did not invite me the other time, but I'm inviting them now. And when I invite them, they now invite me as well. Are we together? So you'll see those flyers with me. Those flyers, that is my table. So part of it is my table. Are we together? So that is what I can basically be able to say. Okay? So, okay. Thank you. So what I would say is, as we continuously grow our personal brands, we need to make sure that we are putting our best foot forward. It could be you to go to a studio and just do a photo shoot. I quite invest in photo shoots because it's important for your visibility. Sometimes even the photo shoots are not going to cost you a lot of money. But the impression you're going to create for the person who is going to see, sometimes you can even go and say, I'm going to buy an outfit, even if it's renting. You just buy an outfit and take good photos, professional photos. Because when my sister Nicole is looking for people to hire, she will not just hire Kwara Kwara. Yes. Seeing somebody professional. I like Silas, you could stand up. You're so smart. Yes. It's representing the brand. You can have a seat. Yes. That is how you show up. Remigio shared yesterday that as they were during their induction as junior bankers, there was a guy who was so smart and so serious. And that is the guy who ended up being their supervisor. So that is what happens, even online. When somebody is judging between, there's a time we were hiring and we had 2 candidates that we were stuck on. Social media gave us the answer. So social media gave us the answer. So be intentional about your personal brand. But also your personal brand is your greatest asset. Remember I talked about you're going to earn as you create multiple income streams. Your first income stream is you. People should be calling you to speak. People should be consulting you, calling you for coaching sessions. People should just be calling to give you business because you've created your personal brand. And that's why you see quite a number of serious business people do not just create business brands, they create personal brands. Elon Musk, quite a great entrepreneur, but he knows his personal brand. Because the personal brand helps you influence for businesses. When you create your personal brand, means that whatever venture you put out, people trust because you've created a personal brand. Basically, your business ventures just keep on standing on that. When I created the Transformation Professionals Club, we are just 3 months down the road. We started in December. But right now, people think we've been around for a long period of time. But what they do not know is the personal brand has been here for a decade. So the business just stood on the personal brand. That is why you will see me posting about the business and it's leveraging on the personal brand. So make sure that your personal brand, you're growing it every day. Do not just grow your personal brand online, grow your personal brand also in offline. And this could be at your workplace. This could be in your church community, where you are. Just be intentional in creating a name for yourself. You see, they say a name is greater than other riches. So create a name that you're going to leverage on, that you'll be somewhere and people are just giving you opportunities because you've created your name. Are we together? So personal brand is very key. The other that I want to share with you is personal development. Personal development. So personal development means that you are growing every day. So the world is evolving, that even the multiple income streams you're trying to create lie within personal development. Are we together? And improve yourself, improve your public speaking skills, improve how you do things. Go take courses, go online, YouTube. I've been able to leverage on YouTube so much. But also observe, learn, create time. There are times every day I have to watch a video of somebody speaking and speaking about a subject that I know. And that's why you see some people say, "Someone, how are you able to post things every day? Where do you get the ideas?" I get the ideas in books, in audios that I listen to, in videos I watch, okay? So that is very important when it comes to, so advance. When you advance your value. When you advance in your personal development, you advance your value. And means that the more value you have, the more earnings that you attract. Okay? And as you learn, one of the things that I've also come to realize is one of the easiest way to make money is to teach what you know. One of the easiest way to make money is to teach what you know. Mr. Ronadia is running Term Consult, and one of the trainings he has talked about his aspect around teaching. He has quite a decade of experience plus, and you can say that it is from that experience that he's now being able to deliver the same message. Okay? If there's one thing that you want to get money from, start from. You see, Patricia, this OD, there are quite a number of people who want to learn how to make this OD. So in everything that you do, my friend there who runs Glass Baking and Catering, one of his income stream, he trains other people to learn what he does. Sometimes you think it's going to limit your income because you're training other people to learn what you do so you'll have no business. Guys, the sky is so big that you cannot. And you see, what I've learned from my friend James, when he started teaching people on how to make cakes, so women would come and learn. And when women got orders that they cannot handle, they would bring them in-house. And that created more business for him. So when you train other people on what you know, you're creating for yourself a value chain as well. Are we together? And when somebody mentions, and they're so good at what they do, and they say it is you who taught them, to create more income for you. So are you a teacher who's learned something? Are you a single mother who has gone through an experience that you can teach? Are you, my friend Eric, who is a systems consultant? Create a course around systems. Let entrepreneurs just pay to learn from you. They may not give you a consulting job, but they'll pay 100,000 just to go through an 8 hours of how to create systems in their business. Are we together? Yeah. Just like my brother who is doing financial literacy. He knows it and he teaches it and he earns from it. Myself, I also earn from what I know. Are we together? That is very, very key. So, and when you start onto that journey of teaching what you know, continuously grow yourself, because that is when your students have to grow with you. Such that what you teach them today, they'll feel like you're growing every day. So there is something more to offer to them. Are we together? And you start doing this for free. Are we hearing? You start doing this for free. This helps you perfect and builds reputation. Are we together? And even if you do it for free, there are people who are going to consult you on that free thing. There are people who are going to invite you now to speak for a payment. Are we together? And that's why each one of us, if you can, have a YouTube channel. Have some videos out there. Whenever I'm inviting speakers, let's say for TPC, the first thing I check out is their videos. What have they done before? So create content that is going to open opportunities for you. Are we together? So personal branding, personal development, people. The other is very related to this is your passion. And I'll combine it with purpose. So your passion is one of the key aspects that you're going to earn from. There is something that you're very passionate about. I've been passionate about speaking, as well as mentorship, as my passion. Now, people book sessions to get mentorship from me. I have mentorship programs, and TPC is one of the mentorship programs I run. There is something you're passionate about. People invite me to speak, and they pay me money. When I started out in speaking, I used to do a lot of free speakings. Even today, I speak for free. But there's someone who invites you and says, Samuel, how much can we pay you? And you tell them, if it's 1 hour, we shall do 1 million shillings. And they tell you, but Samuel, our budget is a bit low. Can we do about 800,000 shillings. Like 1 hour session? Let's make it 900 at least. Like, no, but this is just the beginning. When we have more opportunities to create for you, and I'm like, okay, let's break that down. Let's do 850, and like, okay, let me get back to the team and see what they think. And before you know it, they're inviting you. You're speaking for 1 hour. And what are you sharing? You're sharing what you know. You've been sharing what you've been sharing for free. But other people are seeing it as premium. You get it? As premium. So that is what happens. Now, when you mention those figures, sometimes you're like, but these things I already know. But it's value you've created over a long period of time. Okay? And people will pay. People have money. As you're there saying, how many people will pay for when I say, there are times when I started saying 100,000 shillings. Until I realized that, okay. People have the money. So now we start from up there until we get down. And of course, there are some speaking engagements I really say no to if I'm not aligned, or if I don't have time. I also look at the organization and see. Of course, an organization like NSF cannot invite me and I say 100,000 shillings. I'm mad. That is being madness. Yes. So you need to create that value. And when you continue to grow yourself, you will stand out. Even when you start speaking, people feel like you're speaking wisdom. But these are things that you're just speaking from your brain. Are we together? Yes. So your passion, purpose is important. Continuously seek to understand what is that special about me. What is the reason why I'm here? If I become 80 years and my grandchildren are asking me to tell them something I'm proud I did in my years, in my life, what is that thing that I'll tell them? What is that one thing that I see that challenges my mind and I feel I can be part of the solution? What is that one thing that I've gone through that I could help other people? What is that one thing that keeps speaking to me that I need to be able to do? That is it. So you start and find ways of how to monetize it. Sometimes monetizing purpose sometimes becomes hard. And sometimes you're so passionate about the purpose that you forget about how to monetize it. I'll tell you, I've been there. Even for the Transformation Professionals Club, I sometimes just want to have this thing for free. Even today, if I had all the text to just call you guys to just be here for free, I'll just do it. Are we together? But continuously, one of my mentors told me that, Samuel, as you serve through your purpose or passion, there's an 80% that may not be able to afford you. But there's a 20% that has the money that's going to afford you. Look for the 20%, get the money from them, serve the 80% as you serve the 20%. And I think that model has been able to work. So as you're happy helping other people, the 80%, the 20% are willing to pay premium. There are people whom you tell that my coaching session doesn't go below this amount, and they're next thing asking you, how can I pay? And then there's another person who is going to reach out and tell you, honestly, Sam, I can't do it, but I want you to help me. Of course, I'm not saying that you come through like that, because I don't just do things like that, because I also have a family, I have children, I have twins that need to go to school. But of course, you are usually guided into the whole process of how things can be. And one of the things I've also come to appreciate, especially on the aspect of personal development, is when you invest in yourself, you start to understand the value of the knowledge that you have. If you've never paid 1 million shillings for a program or for a session or for a meeting, it will be hard for you to ask for the same amount of money. Do you get it? If you've not invested in yourself even for let's say maybe 250 or whatever, it will be hard for you to charge that money because you see as if you're cheating others. But if you've paid $1,000 to just sit in a 1 or 2 hour session to listen, when you're out of that session, you will be able to ask for the millions of shillings when you're comfortable. And then, you see, we live in an information age where there's a lot of information. But there's information you're not going to get until you pay for the paid session. You get it? Because people are a bit restrictive on what they put out there publicly. But if you get into the paid session, there's more to it. So invest in yourself. If there's a program you feel you need, and sometimes what I do is, sometimes I pay for programs because I want to build relationship with the person who is providing the program. There are books I buy when I'm not even going to read them, but because I want to build the relationship. Because that is the point of contact. I bought your book, or I read your book. I was part of your program. That person will be in your relationship. That is what helps you break into higher places. Just check out and say, does this guy have a book? Does this guy have any program that I can be part of? Remove the money and pay. And just get into the room. And as you're there are even programs that I pay for to learn the methodology. When I was earlier here sharing, I was telling you that a few months back, I attended a masterclass to be able to learn the methodology. This is the first physical masterclass. Are we together? But I'm able to learn certain things that are able to take me. But so if I hadn't paid for that, I wouldn't have been able to, I've been able to deliver, but there's 1 or 2 things. Sometimes you're going to just learn 1 or 2 things that could change your life. So invest in yourself, create time. Even if you do not have money, go for the free sessions. There's a lot of value. Okay? Yeah. So passion, these are 4. So you want the 5th one? Okay. Eh? Okay. Personal finance. Personal finance. So no matter how much money you make, if you're not able to manage what you earn, then everything is wrong. What is going to help your business grow is how you keep that money. So personal finance is a key pillar when it comes to how you manage your success or how you get there. Even as you aspire, because even if you create how many multiple income streams, if everything comes and leaves, it doesn't make sense. So one of the things I've come to realize is, as you get that money, save and invest. One of the things that has helped me and is really a good trick for me is the aspect of, if you want to save, saving is one of the hardest things. I struggled a lot with that. But find ways that can forcefully get you to saving. Either you're part of an investment club that requires you to save a monthly with even fines. Either you do a standing order on your bank account. I've done that with our circle at work. They deduct a given amount of money on a monthly basis. And I'm happy that it's my money. And if I need it, I have to put in a request. It may take about maybe 2 days. So that 2 days journey makes me disciplined. Even when my sister here calls me and says, Samuel, things are tough, send me 100,000, I'll tell her honestly, I don't have. But I have money the other side of the circle. But it needs to be so serious for me to remove the other money from the circle. And then when you get that money, start putting it to investments. Find avenues that you know. Because remember we talked about the 10 years from now. 10 years from now, the income that you're making today is not to take care of you only today. Part of it is take care of you 10 years from now. Because 10 years from now, you not have the same energy. And that is why it's very critical that you continuously create multiple income streams today. Because that is what's going to elevate you at the end of the day. Okay? So let's ensure that we are managing our finances rightly. One of the key aspects on personal finance is is like faith. You do not get strong at it in one day. It is something that you learn every day. Get yourself interested in the subject of how you can leverage, and it's not about how much you earn. You can be able to create a lot even with the small that you earn. We look at our primary teachers sometimes who earn a small amount of money, but they take care of themselves. Okay? Have assets in life. One of the things that have helped me in my journey, because remember we talked about influence and decisions. Create assets such that there's an income that comes. Because when you're looking at creating multiple income streams, we're not only looking at active income, because there's what we call active income and we have passive income. So active income is what involves you in action. Here I'm speaking and it's active income. If you're employed, it is active income in accounting. So we thought about, said, how can we start something? So one of the critical aspects is, in your journey to creating multiple income streams, create systems that can be able to help you to earn money. Okay? Remember I said that there's nothing that just happens. Everything requires intentionality. I'm somehow certain that if my mentorship and coaching was not in a club format, as the Transformation Professionals Club, maybe some of you may not have associated with me. Or if I had not had a name for the club, because I have had a community. She's one of part into my community. You see, when just say I have a community of people that know me, or that when they need my service, they can come around. So the same thing happened when we are starting Achievers Professional Trainers. We said, one, we need to start with a name. First thing first, start with a name. The next thing we did is, let's start branding. Call the branding guy, design a logo. Starting small, design a logo. So for whatever idea you have, do not just say, for me, I sell this audience. And sorry, Patricia, for using this as an example, but we are marketing. The more we mention about Odile, the more to our international audience, this is peanut butter. It's very good for your health. So instead of me telling people continuously that I sell peanut butter, what I'll do, I'll look for a name. And I say, this is sweet peanut butter. Okay? Because I know people associate with nice names. So when we started Achievers Professional Trainers, we said Achievers. So even when things became hard for the students, they're like, we are achievers. We are achievers. So start with the name that people relate to. We are the Transformational Professionals Club. Every day we are reminded that we are transformation. We are different. Find a name that resonates, because you're now creating a system. Because there are times you're going to reach, remember 10 years journey, think long term, when you cannot show up as you are. But the system is going to show up. And the system is going to bring you money. Are we together? So create a system. I learned this thing from my father. So my father was a businessman. So he created a business system. And I remember there's a time when he sent me to pick a check from one of the one of customers that he had supplied to. And that time he was so sick that he could not even pick the check himself, but he had created a system that people could even buy from him when he was home. So he had created that kind of system, even to the extent that right now, he passed on about 5 years now. I think we're getting about 5 years. But right now, the businesses are still running. Are we together? So it means that you have to create a system. The people that created Coca-Cola died long time ago. What is that one thing that they will put your name to and say he was our founder? He founded this. So for whatever you're doing, have a system. Create something. So starting small, the patience that we're talking about, some of these things is just going to wake up. My brother here runs 10 consults, Uganda, I believe you could have a similar journey, but start. Samantha there also came with her t-shirt. Samantha, just stand up such that we're able to really see what is on your t-shirts there. What is that word?
Crafting legacy.
Crafting legacies. Visura. And what does the business deal in?
Corporate branding, graphic design, and printing.
So she's your logo plug. You need a logo, and you see, some of these things do not cost a lot of money. Start from somewhere. You will refine later on, but start from somewhere. Are we together? So that's how we started, and before you know it, we put social media, and people started trusting us. Now, first class, I think, first cohort, we had about 60 students who trusted us, but they couldn't trust us when we were just individuals. They now trusted the brand. Okay? They trusted the brand. So you need to create a brand, because that's the brand that's going to help you elevate you. Are we together? Yeah, so patience is key. And then the other, of course, public speaking and enhancing. We're about to finish. The public speaking. Now, public speaking is one thing that you can't avoid away from. I used to be timid at speaking, but through practice, I've been able to get where I am today. So even you, practice. And if no one is inviting you to speak, create your own platform. There are times when I started and I had 2 people join through a session, either it's online and you seeing them, it's only 2 people who are watching, but you're like, let me just continue through the session. And what happens is, because the online space helps us in a way that after you've done, 2 people have watched, another person will come and watch. And they will not even look at how many people watched. Remember what I said? You can't be invited as a speaker if the people have not seen you speaking. So you may think that you're communicating to the 2 people that are during the session, but you're communicating to another stranger who is going to come and watch your video 4 years from now. And that is the speaker who is going to open the door that you are trying to look for. Are we together? Yes. So public speaking is key. Volunteer yourself into spaces and show up. Do not think about what you think about yourself or what other people think about you. Think about the message. You have some experience, you've gone through that you can deliver. You have a number of things that you can do. So public speaking is key. The other is, of course, persistence. I would lie to you if I tell you that everything is okay. Even right now, things are not okay. I remember when when organizing this masterclass, by yesterday, I had about 10 people whom I knew would be here. But I said, I'm going to do it. And even if they show up 2 of them, I'll share with them a message. When I had Patricia and Rosette in the WhatsApp group, you can please clap because it's worth the clapping. When I had Patricia and Rosette in that WhatsApp group, those 2 made me to push through, to bring the vision to life. So you too as well, even as you believe, I would lie to you if I told this journey is going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But what makes it of value is because it is hard. Not everyone can actually go through the same experience that you're going to go through. And that is why you may start 100 of you, but only 5 will remain. And those are the 5 that will eat the cake. So in this journey, persevere. But also in the persevere and persistence, find support if you can. Okay? And that's where the community provides you. So I really want to appreciate everyone that has been part of this, and those that have followed, let's say, online. Thank you so much for our online audience. If you found value in this, I want to ask you to share the same message. Let's replicate the effect such that we're able to transform the world together. And believe me not, we are going to change the world. We should have few suicides of people giving up on their lives because they can't do anything. We'll create more incomes where not just a white man from somewhere just gets into power and says, I've frozen funds. We'll create a world where we can not just be on salary, where we are working in hostile environments, which we know we are not supposed to be in, but because that is the only source of income, we'll get to a point in time. And you see what we're doing today right now? We're creating a foundation for our generations. My father left his job out of termination. He lost the job and he started his business. Right now, 4 of my siblings, including John. John, you stand up. Let's clap for him. So John is my young brother. He's one of those that are running my late daddy's business, and they are not looking for a job. They have an income. At no point in time has John called me and said, brother, I'm out of money, give me 10,000. So create a legacy in a way that whatever you're doing today, your children will not lack. That you're creating something today, you're giving it your time, you're persisting, but your children are going to stand on what you've created to create something. Okay? So one thing I would ask you today is to go and reflect on the message and create a way forward. What are some of you to do? What are you going to do going forward? And I would request you to share with me on WhatsApp. You just send me a WhatsApp and say, Samuel, from the coaching session, from the mentorship session we did, these are some of the things that I plan to do. And that helps me to see how can I help you. In case somebody needs exactly what you want, how can I recommend you? That's how we build networks. That's how we create opportunities for each other. Okay? Yeah, of course, for me as a founder of the Transformation Professionals Club, where I see the Transformation Professionals Club 10 years from now, I see it as a global community. And we've seen us try to tap into global audiences. We've had a speaker from Zambia. We've also had a speaker from Nigeria. We have quite a number of other speakers that will be coming to speak to us. Now, those speakers are creating for us a brand reach in those countries. Because when a speaker is going to come to speak to TPC, they'll definitely post our flyer. And that will take TPC to that country even before we get there. So let's, if there's one thing that I want to ask you, that for whatever you want to do 10 years from now, think global. Think global. The world has opened up so much. The world has opened up so much that there are quite a number of opportunities. That today you run in term consults. When you're thinking about your vision, you need to be looking at transforming Kenya, transforming Nigeria, transforming Rwanda, transforming different countries, because they are waiting for your message. And what is going to help you get there? Online. And how do you do it? Target online. Get yourself in spaces, make relationships, because that's how I'm able to invite some of the speakers, through relationships. There's what we call relationship currency. That relationship is going to open your product to another market, like that. So start small, but think big, think global. Even with your personal brand, people who should be consulting from you should not just only be Ugandans. There's a saying that a prophet is not accepted in their own land. There are quite a number of people who have invited me outside to speak, and they have trusted me before they trust me here. And somehow, when now your local people see that other people have trusted you, they'll start trusting you as well. Because they'll be like, you're now a big thing. Eh? You're now a big thing. Okay? Yes, and create your own platform. Say, I'm employed, but I'm going to create this business where I now am in charge. I'm also going to employ people. Okay? Think beyond yourself, just beyond just your profession, beyond the job you are in, and see how do you change your life. Your children should not be moving around with applications for over 5 years and there. It starts with you. start a foundation for them that they leave university and they have something. If they wish to work, let them go and work. But when it is not the only option they have, it starts today. Okay? So, thank you so much. I want to take some questions, if there are any, and then we're able to close. Otherwise, thank you so much, and thank you to our media team. We are going to have this produced such that you can be able to watch it or and go over it. And definitely we shall also make it accessible to other people. Of course, it may come at a fee, but whatever we do, whatever we charge, is for the greater service. We want to make sure that we can serve more people in the process. Okay? Yeah. Any question?
Thank you very much, Lord Samuel, for such an enlightening session. One of the things I've learned from this session is that all of us have value, and we must have confidence to manifest that value, no matter how we start. Now, my question is in relation to the current trend of youth. You realize that in this country, over 400,000 youth are always graduate from the universities. But I was thinking that having a degree is a direct currency to get a job. But when you interact with most of the youth, you find that they don't know what next. As a career coach and also someone who relates with young people, what do you think is the mismatch between our education and what can be done to help young people to become agents of change? So that we don't want to tell them that, but just be in front, keep in front.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, I can answer that question as maybe another question comes through. So one of the things that we need to agree is that the curriculum which our young people have gone through is the wrong curriculum. That's why even the government woke up to change the curriculum. They're trying to adjust, but quite a number of gaps still exist there. But we hope for the best, and we thank God that we've started on that journey. So for our young people, quite a number of them looking for jobs. I think you and I can create more change. And one of the reasons why we started Transformation Professionals Club, and I'm so much glad to have Mr. Makande Stephen, you can stand up, is our first student to be part of this. So I'm believing that starting with Stephen and other people, we're going to change the mindset. So it all starts with the mindset. For somebody to know that I studied agriculture, but I can become a digital marketer because the things have changed. Or I studied engineering, but I can now start doing artificial intelligence. I can go and do self-study online to equip myself. Even for us here, sometimes we are constrained because you went to university and studied this chemistry, and everything you think about is the chemistry. Even the jobs you're looking for is about chemistry. There are people who are in chemistry who have gone into marketing, and they are doing well. Always think about that. The reason why you studied that course is much like because of your parents, or because of government, or because of anything. Myself, I studied accounting, but I don't think we're here because I'm an accountant. So I think we need to help these young people because they don't know. So us who have made the mistakes, and have been able to get some exposure, so we need to bring them. Of course, government has some certain programs, but let's get out there and share the message. And I like Philip. Philip is running that WhatsApp group. What was it called? Yes, Responsible Leaders. So he has quite a number of people there. So one of the things that we also want to do as a club is we want to get into schools as well. We're trying to, even universities, we're trying to look at such partnerships. So in case you're running a school and you want us to deliver a message to the schools, because we can't be waiting for people to get out of school for them to join the club. we need to transform. We're trying to create a value chain, okay? You write one thing called sales funnel in your notebook. Sales funnel. So as you develop whatever you're developing, make sure that you have a sales funnel. So if a sales funnel is just like the way a funnel is shaped, so it has quite a number of things entering and few getting out. So one of the sales funnel as TPC, one of the aspects that is coming through are some of those students, because they are part of our entire value chain. You read about how sales funnel, and then you see how you can apply it to your business as well. So that's partly what we are doing. It's a continuous conversation, and I know we shall get there. So thanks so much, Philip, and thanks so much for the work that you're doing as well in that space. Okay, any other question? So you can also share, by the way, what if you have something to share or your experience, please.
Okay, thank you so much. So my question is almost similar to Philip's, but it's a little bit different. So I've been working as a coach now, I think, for close to 3-4 years, and it's also something related to mindset. Some of the people that I've worked with, students, mid-career professionals, both women and men, but I've kind of noticed a challenge whereby a lot of the times, like even when it comes to maybe working on people's CVs and all of that, people always want to be spoon-fed. And I remember I experienced this last year when I conducted a masterclass. I was trying to, bring people together to teach them how to write a CV. And then there was this one lady who reached out to me and she was like, "No, I don't want to pay for the masterclass. I want you to write for me." And I was like, "Okay, but even if I write it for you, yes, you may not get a job because it's not a one-day thing. So why don't you come, acquire the knowledge so that way you're able to, do better for yourself for the long term." But this person was so insistent on me writing it for them, which I did. So my question is, as a fellow coach yourself, how do you handle these kind of situations? Because I've faced it a lot, especially here in Uganda. As much as you want to disseminate the knowledge, but again, also people have too much of this mindset of always wanting you to do it for them. And as much as I don't have an issue doing it for them, but how about you having the knowledge so that next time you don't necessarily have to come to me, but you can be able to empower yourself and empower others as well. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. What I would just share from my experience is I think I've worked on some CVs here, but maybe I would just use an example of Charity. So I worked with Charity on a CV where we had a session and I told her of the gaps and she went on to improve. So definitely the nurturing of some of our little ones, our youth, or even big people, professionals, is a spoon kind of feeding kind of approach. But I think it's more of trying to change the norm, because I'll tell you, there are people who have reached out to me and said, "My CV, I want to apply for NGO job, please put for me some NGO experience." And I'm like, if you do not earn it, there's no way I'm actually going to sit down and put for NGO experience. Like, I cannot put my reputation. Yes. So I think we just need to change the norm such that these people know. Of course, there are people in the market that are still doing that for people. So one of the things I've come to appreciate is that I don't serve everyone. So there are people who reach out and say no for case of my reputation and also my values. So it's about being firm on your offering. And when somebody knows that you're so good at what you do, somehow they'll either buy into your approach or go and look for another person. And it is okay. And you'll be able to, and that's when you now start to tap into to get executives who really have core experience and are able to pay for the service and are able to also work on their CV by themselves. Or even if you're helping them in the process, at least there is an effort that somebody's doing. So I think it's a change, just to change in terms of how you put out the offering, so that's that people are able to know if you, because sometimes it's about like you've done it for others, so you also do it for me, so like that. But even the people, we do it for them. Even today, if I do work on your CV, I'll tell you that that's not what I do, and you should not go around telling people that that is what I do. I've just done it because of circumstances, and that will create a hole. But that is actually what is available. I remember last there's somebody who posted in the WhatsApp group and said, instead of this masterclass and why don't we just do these things? So there are always such kind of people, but you need to stick to what exactly you want to do. Yeah. So thanks for the question.
For me, it's about, you say something to do, you offer free services.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I think I've done that. I've been in this coaching business for like 4-5 years. It's like 50
Yeah.
And I think 80% has been for free. I don't know if it's because of my name, Charity. Like the kind of people I target the most are the men about but you find it so hard when you give them the back. Then maybe when you talk about money, that sometimes they disappear. So at some point I'm like, where am I struggling? Yes, I do have a capability, but they expect too much, if I should say. And at some point I get so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But I have a family I need to take care of too. So how do I create balance in that? I love what I do, but I also need to earn and actually feel worthy of what I'm bringing to the table.
Thank you so much for the question. As before that question comes through, do you have a website? It's in the works. It's in the works. Okay, the reason I asked about do you have a website is because at whatever level of your growth as an individual determines the kind of clients you attract. And like I've told you, yes, I still have graduates who reach out to me and I want to serve them. But for me to be able now to attract people that I can charge $1 million for an hour or whatever is also the relationship and the relationships I'm building, but as well as the brand that I'm actually creating. So have a website out there. Let's even have your fees, like a coaching session. You can even have a calendary, and even before somebody books the session, because when you go to my calendary, I've not updated it in a while, but the minimum you'll see there is 100,000 just to have a chat with me. So create that kind of system such that people know even before they reach out, because sometimes when somebody reaches out, you can't pull back. They even shared with you their challenges and you just feel you want to help. But when you put a price tag somewhere, either on your website or somewhere, I know for you it is even easy since maybe you've transitioned or in the area of transitioning. Because what happens is for us who are employed, sometimes we struggle to put figures out there, but you can be able to put your fee out there. And somebody, believe me, there are people who have money, who just, somebody's earning maybe 10 million and they're not afraid to just sit down with you for a coaching program of about 2 million. And that's something that I've been able to learn. So I think it is around your offering. And as you offer the free thing, speak about the paid thing as well. And usually, one of my mentors told me, as you offer it, make it incomplete. That it creates desire for another version of completeness. You get it? And you know where he started? From 2 rooms. You can clap for him. He deserves the hands. So some of his clients is MTN, NSSF, Ministry of Science and Technology, quite a number of them. He bids for work for large organizations and he wins the work. James, what do you want to say to Mariam?
That's one of the hardest questions, but it becomes easier for me from the entrepreneurship background. I studied entrepreneurship at degree level, but I've also realized that down here, whatever you studied is totally different from what is on ground. When I studied classic, I did plan to start immediately. I planned to start in January.
Thank you for coming on and meeting you.
Because I was so ambitious to a level that if you put me in your business, I'll run it.
Aaron, sorry.
I'm running now, but I really need to learn. The owner today said that if we had an activity outside, the two of us had to choose who to stay because my boss would say stay behind because he was punctual in the business on his behalf. But also, I used to provide the best professional advice ever. Yes, I would look at my boss, I know this is going to be against him, or you will not like it, but I'll give you the right thing. Tell you, you want to do this, but the disadvantages outweigh the advantages. And I lay them there, but I tell him, however, you're the boss. You have a choice. So he made mistakes several times. After some time, no business will go through unless I approve. So that's the level. But when you come to the entrepreneurship journey, it is very easy. Don't listen to everyone. If we asked everybody here, on a certain topic, everybody will give an opinion. You get? Look at who is giving the opinion. You get? It is very key. Who is giving the opinion? When I ask you about a catering company, for example, suggest for somebody, recommend, you all have. You get? But people recommend for different reasons. Some want to make jaulo because the guys who are the marker. Some generally want to give you the best person. You get? Others just want to support a friend. So for different reasons, there will be an answer for everything. But for me, one of the things that made it easier was the fact that one, there are only two options. It's either job, employment, or what is this side? Business, self-employment, whatever you want to call it, right? So once you choose where you want to be, the rest becomes easy. Once you choose that this side is what I'm going to go for, it will become easy. How was I able to do it? One, I don't come from really a much privileged family, the planned family. You get? In our family, we are 6. I'm the only one in business. The rest, NGO work and all that. But initially, I thought after university they will connect me. I'll just be running from one job to another. It was the reverse. So I reached a point and I was alone. But from my entrepreneurship journey, I said I was only going to work for 2 years. I worked for 2 companies. One was a supermarket. I was running a supermarket as a supervisor. After 1 year, I was sure there was nothing new I was going to learn there. So I told my boss I am going. After looking at how many hours I was working for, I said, I don't want to talk about money. I am going. I resigned from a job of, let me give an example, 500,000, and my next job was 250. I just wanted to free myself, to have time for myself. Because as I said, even that one day you were given, there's nothing much you can do. So, when I moved to this job, still the target was not to work for 2 years, because I keep telling people, if I work for you for more than 2 years, you're very exceptional. Because the question is, what else do I want from there? Because this is not my business. All of us know that if you're an employee, your time will come up. So if you look at that time, you must give yourself, actually they say there are 2 things there. That's why when you look at that employment contract, you may fire yourself, but you may also be fired. So whoever fires the other first, comes a tick. But it becomes disadvantageous for you if you are fired because you start from scratch, go from 0. But if you fire yourself in advance, you win. Okay? So I kept firing myself twice. So after firing myself twice, I was ready to go. But the most important thing here is that I landed there. I knew I couldn't go back to this side. I first cancelled that opportunity. They came several times, even up to now. They come. But I look at the opportunity cost. When I started, I was very intentional. I wanted to build a brand. I wanted to build a long-term brand. I wanted my kids to inherit it. I'm very passionate about that catering business. I work on that catering business every day. I give it more attention than anybody else. Even including myself, I don't give myself, I work for 7 days. I can work for 24 hours for that business, because my assumption is if that business survives, I will survive, everybody around me will survive. And I keep telling people, amongst all of us, there's only one person who shouldn't die. That is this classic business. If it dies, we are all dead. So whatever people say, I tell them, if it is not about classic, I am not in. So the first years, I had to cut off certain activities. I can tell you, if you join business, the first years, there's no money. We all must accept. 2, all the businesses that have been successful are long term. 10 years, 20, 15. There are companies that have made losses. Yeah? Losses. You know them. Even the likes of Facebook, they started making money recently. Guys tell you, we have invested for 13 years. But the guys are sure they will make money. So the biggest challenge we have is that we want to start today and earn the next day. There is no baby that you give birth today and the next day you ask for dowry. You have one? No. What's there? That kid takes around 23, 24 years. For you want yours to be today, then the next day. You get? We have run classic. I keep saying we have run because I am not alone. I have another gentleman who helps me with a lot of BDS, that is Business Development Services. I have a lawyer. I have everyone around me. Let me tell you, that space, you can't survive alone. You're going to have so many what problems. But if you have challenges with recently somebody had some disagreement with someone, and someone gave me an intention to sue, I was like, oh wow, simple. I just forwarded it to the lawyer. Said, give me the facts of the story. The moment I gave the facts, he said, oh, don't worry, let me reply. So when you have issues with URL, you have somebody to talk to. You get it? But when it comes to how do you get there, one, make a decision. Simple. If you make a decision, you say, I am going for this, and I am not returning back here. You know, the possibility of going back for that kind of job of 1 million, for survival, every time you say, let me go back, you lose out. Yeah, in the long run. So classic is 8 years, but my target is 15 years. That's where I expect to get my money. But I can tell you, I started getting money, for my case, even in year 1, I was making money. But that money was not for me. I can tell you how many times we have reinvested that money. Anybody who knows my story knows that I don't eat money. The only time in the 8 years, the only time I've eaten money was this year. I went to Dubai for 10 days. I said, I am also going to die with the money today. Because I felt like I had made the money, but I had not given myself some money. So I said, let me eat some money. I will not regret for this one. But I knew that sacrifice would do a lot here. But I said, no, the level I've reached, I need some exposure. Yeah? I need to get out there. I need to talk to, I need to see something new. This ecosystem, if you focus so much into it, you reach a point and you get saturated. So you need a new environment. But to cut the story short, the people around you, be intentional. They should be doing well. You shouldn't be having those calls. You cut those calls of, boss, where are you? Let's go out. Yeah? Those ones, tell them, first leave me alone. Right now, I can afford to go out and not complain, but those days, in the initial stages of the business, it was extremely tough. Extremely tough. The other thing is that when you enter business, we keep telling people, don't just enter there. Every time somebody comes to me and tells me, I want to start this business, I keep asking the same questions. What exactly is it that you want to do? How different is it from what others are doing? You get, why should I keep saying, why should I buy you? You get, when we came in, there was a big challenge in the baking business. Somebody will tell you, you should have placed an order 2 weeks earlier. So you ask us, so what the hell is this? Which law firm do you go to and they tell you, you should have told me about this crime, or this issue, 3-4 days ago? You get, you walk to an office, they work on you, right? We reduce the time from 14 days to 3 hours. Right now, if you order fake cake, give me 3 hours, you will have your cake. Holding other factors constant. And which factor is only power, by the way? I am not giving so many, just one. Why? I am knowledgeable about the business. I know what to do. You get? So, what value are you adding? Yeah? But two, I told people, most of the businesses in Uganda are informal. All of us know it. But if you're a professional person who is joining that kind of business, please give it the professionalism it deserves. When some talks about bidding, we said our analysis is up here, there's a lot of money, there are few competitors. Down here, there's little money, but there are thousands and thousands of competitors. So the more you build yourself to go up, the better. Currently, we are bidding for catering for oil and gas. I can tell you they are not 10 in the country. They are not there. Because down here has consumed the majority. So somebody tells you, I've been in this business for 15 years, but they cannot show anything. But we were intentional. We said we are going to build a professional business. All the paperwork. Right now, if you ask me any paperwork related to bidding, I have. So anything that comes in that place, of course there's a cost. You must be compliant. Yeah? So if you're not compliant, you miss out. If you're compliant, there are benefits. So if you're building that system or that business to get to a level of compliance, you must be intentional. You must be adding something. If you did this, let me tell you, the space for oil and gas is worse. The requirements there. If they gave you a list, yeah, you can easily give up. But you keep playing around and pora. No yongeraku, no yongeraku, no yongeraku. When you enter that system, that ecosystem, you will enjoy what we call the entrepreneurial benefits. It is so sweet that you can land on a project of 1 billion. 1 billion. I keep telling people, why should I work for 50 years if I can work for 15 years and I retire? Okay? I plan to retire at 40. And I will retire at 40. Not this retirement of I'm officially off, but take a back seat. Because if you build systems, because all the materials are there. Okay? So it becomes now easy to put a face. But the idea was, people want to deal with companies more than deal with the individual. So that's why every time I say, what company do you work with? Eh? They know you, yes. You're James, yes. We know you're a chef, you are good. But, where do you work for? Because they will not trust you as an individual. But also the paperwork related to an individual is very limited. So that's why they keep saying, who do you work with? Where do you work from? Okay? So thank you very much.
A big hand clap for James. Yeah, sometimes we need to hear it from the people that are actually doing it. So I want us to do a group photo. My media team tells me somehow, but what we are going to do, I plan, we're trying to start a TPC entrepreneur program where we are going to have more entrepreneurs coming to share their stories of how they did it. And then we also have more. What I want exactly is I want to create an avenue where professionals are tapping into the entrepreneurs and the entrepreneurs are tapping into the professionals. You understand? So we're going to have entrepreneurs coming through to share their stories, because within TPC we have entrepreneurs. Some of us are both entrepreneurs and then employees. So what I want to do, even for your personal brands, what I want to do is I want to create an avenue where we can have a session, let's say, about systems, and Eric comes and shares about systems. And entrepreneurs in the audience, and even us side hustlers are also in the audience. Now, we benefit from the knowledge that he has shared, but Eric is also able to get a platform that can start now to leverage on the ground, because you said give it for free and build a reputation around it. So it's one thing that we're doing, and James is one of those people that we're looking at to be able to drive the program. What is been able, Ma'am is an accountant, that's why I know that he makes the money he makes. So that's the opportunities that I've been able to get. But one of the things I've learned from him is think big. Even for the businesses we're thinking about here, think about how you can start bidding for work. register the business. Get to a point in time where you know that you can put in your bid and you can attract billions and millions of money. And it is actually possible. Because that point doesn't have a lot of competition. Okay? So let's have the group photo.
Just a comment.
Okay, please.
If you have a comment.
It's okay, please.
Thank you so much. Just a comment following up on your question. This is something that affects mostly people who are transitioning from employment into either self-employment or business, because there's the hurdle. You have been tied at the employment level with golden handcuffs. They've given you medical, they've given you a car, they've given you fuel. You hardly make any use of your salary. So what most people fail to do is to set aside the exact amount that they are offering you from the salary, assuming that you are paying for those expenses. How much would you set aside? This is a challenge that many people face, so that when situations like the USAID happens, you really are caught in a place where you cannot understand. There are actually extreme cases where people committed suicide because you have children in international school. What do you tell them? You have the ego. You have built the ego to the size of an elephant. How do you tell your friends that now I can no longer come to Serena? Yeah. So these are things that, as you're employed, make sure you prepare yourself for the worst. What is the worst you can think of? Because I fell into such a circumstance. I worked for quite some time. But what I did was, at the time when I was earning, I made sure, yes, I did not want to put money in the account because I knew I would get to it. So I put it in terms of investment. I bought pieces of land here and there. And those are the things that survived me for close to 2-3 years. So for you, my advice would be that as much as they are giving you the benefits, the end is unknown, but you can prepare for it. Because once your mind becomes conscious that there is such thing called an end, because for many people it doesn't occur. You work for UN, you think UN will last forever. No, UN is funded, most likely by America anyway. So the day they cut it off, again, you suffer the same. So you really have to be conscious of that end, so that now you plan for it while you're still earning. And you start managing your ego, such that some of the things that you would deny yourself, you start denying yourself in time. Do not, because that change is not easy. It is very few people who can actually make the transition. If you're fired today, can you move from where you are to today, not tomorrow? Many people cannot do that. So it goes into the mind. You have to really position yourself in such that whatever the scenario that befalls you, you are able to transition immediately. That is, I think that would assist you.
Okay, so thank you so much, and to our audience, we're going to have more interaction sessions, but we could have the photo moment. But before maybe we break out to the photo moment, remember I said we're going to collect another 10 contacts. So we're going to just share contacts. You could have somebody write their name and their contact, check them out and build the relationship, isn't it? Yeah, have we gotten value from the session today? By show of hands, if you've gotten some value. Okay, so that shows that we've gotten value at the end of the day. How many of you can come through for in the next quarter, because we will plan to have this quarterly, by show of hands on different other topics? Okay, so at least we are having some good, and then please, when you are coming back, just like my friend Nicole did, brought the sister,
My friend Ronald has come with a spouse, and we had our different people here. I know even my friend Philip brought Jida. So let's bring other people. At least bring 2 people. We plan to even expand this location and have more people and more reach, such that we can be able to help. Otherwise, thank you so much. Let's just have a photo moment. I know there are some different questions, but remember, we run a club, we run a community. It's not a one-day relationship, it's a forever relationship. So let's pick up this conversation from here, okay? I'll just request this gentleman to just give us a close out, and you could pray for us as well.
Thank you so much. We is calling Makasam. He's the uncle to our children. But at the same time, he ate the coke. I want to thank everybody who is in here. Like you heard, I'm a teacher by profession. I was doing math, science, and Makerere. But later on thought, how long will I be doing math in the classroom? So I was thinking about the transition that he has been talking about. So I went to UCU, and I did masters in research and public policy, because I wanted to cross from pure science, the natural sciences, to the social sciences. I was looking at impact. How do we impact more people than the few people in the classroom? So the research that I am in is what I want us to use. When you're doing your business, I hope in business they do market research. First, find the gaps that exist in the community. What are the gaps that exist in your area of expertise? And that is the building block upon which you can build your organization, your company, and so on. So after finding it, set the agenda. Like TPC is setting the agenda to see that you reach out to the people. And when you reach out to the people, take action. Act or implement your programs that you have started. And as you are acting, assess, evaluate, monitor and evaluate. Because through monitoring and evaluation, you will learn something. You learn what worked well, what went well, and what did not go well. So you improve yourself, you improve the company. And then when you see that things are not moving on well, adjust or adjourn. Stop it, restart. Don't fear to fall. Don't fear to fail. People who are successful keep failing because failure teaches success. So if you are to succeed, don't fear to fail and go on. Business cycles, you got the boom. From the boom, diminishing return, you get to the doom. Then you have to work on principles that will make you to recover. I remain right. We train and we train. But we believe God as we march out of this place. Father, King of Glory, we want to thank you. We bless you for this honorable day that you have given unto us. We thank you for the people that you brought up here. We thank you for this place, the management of this hotel, for giving us space that we can come, interact, and learn from here. We thank you, King of Lord, for the president and the entire team that have organized this learning. Father, indeed, leaders are learners. It is through learning that we can lead. May we continue to influence the people that we meet, the communities where we are, starting with what you have given us, looking at our strength, looking at our opportunities, bearing in mind that there are many threats, there are many weaknesses, each one of us is not perfect,